Hey, Lost Canuck here. Well, hola, namaste, bonjour. Welcome to the channel, and if you're a first-time subscriber, thanks for watching, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back. Always appreciated. Lost Canuck loves you guys. So, hey, on today's episode, I'm going to take my cooking hat off. We're not doing any cooking today. And you're thinking, hey, Lost Canuck, what you doing next to your Blaz'n Grillworks Grand Slam grill? We're doing some experimenting today. That's right, experimenting. And experimenting is always fun, if you ask me. So look, if you haven't already done so, check me out on social media right here. That's my Instagram QR code. And join some of the fun. And for my Hispanic viewers, a mis amigos que hablan español, los subtítulos debajo. And for my Hindi friends, Nietzsche subtitles. Alright, so let's roll that intro. Okay, well, you've probably noticed there's this big brown box next to my grill here and me. We're going to open up the old Blaz'n here and check it out. Okay, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod so you can see it a little clearer. Okay, so you can see inside my Blaz'n I got my standard heat deflector in there. I actually happen to have it covered with foil, keep it clean. And I got my little top pro shelf in here. I'm not going to need that. So what the plan is we're going to take the secret contents of this box. Well, it's not so secret. I bought a sear kit for my Blaz'n. But am I using it for searing? Stay tuned. We'll find out what the heck I am doing. Let's check it out. All right, so let's take out these. So I'm going to take out my old diffuser. So let's take out these grills, just like that. There's one. There's two. They're actually pretty clean. I cleaned it the other day. All right. And we're going to take out our standard diffuser plate here that I've covered with foil. Okay, well, hopefully you guys can hear me. We're going to take the diffuser plate out from this angle. This is always fun to do. I'm going to hang on to this because there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good diffuser plate. It's still nice and oily. And I like to keep mine covered with foil. Hey, and just a quick tip, I know this is a Traeger product, but the 575, the little sheets that they sell with this, fit the Grand Slam. Just a little hack there if you're... Hey, foil's cheap though, so I'm a foil guy, but if you got a Traeger, you can sub these in too. Okay, so now we're going to throw the new diffuser plate in with the grilling kit, and you'll see why here in a minute. Okay, so let's take this thing out of the box and see what you get. I'm not even sure. I know you get a new, oops, you get a new diffuser plate, and got to be careful not to slice yourself up. This may be something for the end. I'm not sure. I've already got one of these, but I'm pretty sure it goes in here. Anyways. This looks like a plate for the firebox that you maybe put over the other one, just to keep it safer. Okay, looks like you get a handle. Looks like the new diffuser plate. Okay. Okay, well, it's time to read the instructions. All right. Well, looks like here's what you get in your kit. You get this new heavy duty, and I mean heavy duty. These guys do a nice job. A deflector plate, and I'll season this with some Pam here in a minute. So we're gonna put that off to the side. Put that over here. Okay, and you get the top, which mounts on top of the new, and again, I'll season this up as well. We're just gonna put her together today. So you get this plate that goes on top, probably like this. There you go. Okay, and you get this new heat shield. Now this goes in between your pellet hopper and, hang on here, it goes this way. Oh boy, Lost Canuck's not fully awake here. But anyways, don't put this in backwards, you'd be in big trouble. So look, I think this goes in here like that, and I've just been reading the instructions a little bit, and that looks like that's how it goes. So you got to take out your bottom heat shields, get that in, and they give you this cool little nifty handy dandy handle to pull that. Let's check this out. Yep, handy dandy handle. You just go in there, pick it up, and pull it off. And just so you guys know, there's this little, this comes in handy, or this is going to come in to play here in a minute when I do my experiment. We'll see if this even works, okay? But this is part of their ring of fire assembly. It's just a top guard that goes over top of their burn pot. See, mine's nice and oily. Haven't used this for a few days, so I oiled it up. Try and keep it like new. So I'm taking the bottom shields out. Okay, so what they're telling me is to put this in over top of the existing sidewall heat shield. So we'll do that. Twist that around in here. Okay, so there's a bar. All right, so you see you got this support bar that holds your heat shield in place right here, okay? All right, so you go in over the top with this extra heat shield and you put it in. It looks like it's a nice stainless one. Anyways, I'm gonna have to, I should oil this up, okay? So let's take it back out. I'll oil it up and put it back in. So I got it all coated up with some oil, and got my other top plate coated with oil. So let's get them foiled up and put into the machine. All right, so I've got the pellet hopper heat shield put back in. It's all nicely oiled up with some Pam. And hey, Lost Canuck likes to use a little Pam on his stuff just to keep it looking new. I wrangled for a while with some foil and got the main heat deflector plate covered, plus the little trapdoor plate covered. Yeah, it looks terrible, but you know what? I'm not worried about the looks, I'm worried about functionality. Okay, so after that little painful event there, let's get this thing put back together and the main heat deflector plate in. And we can talk about our experimental procedure. And I always put this in the wrong way first. So, bottom heat deflector goes in. There we go. Now I just like to space them because they don't go across the entire length. I like to space them about a finger length away and close to the burn pot because nothing fits in there super tight. Okay, and then you got your other bottom heat shield. Put in, bottom of course, finger length away, and up against the burn pot. And then, you know, I always forget to put this burn pot cover back in, so let's not do that. Let's not be like Lost Canuck and a little forgetful. And again, remember that because that's crucial to our experiment. Okay, let's take our foiled up new heat deflector. I'm going to take the trap door off because it's going to fall and hit my toes. We don't want that to happen. Let's get this back in. And remember, this always slopes to your grease. Okay? You want to get this centered over your burn pot. Well, let's see if this experiment's going to work. Now you put your trap door on top. See, it leaves your burn pot area, or the burning ring of fire, exposed. And that goes on top like that. There, whoops. Probably want to put your keyway, the slot, parallel, or perpendicular to where you stand, or else you won't be able to use your little handy dandy tool, this thing, when it's hot. And that's what this thing does. Just picks it right up, and then you can put it right back down. Okay, now the experiment, the interesting thing. Let me get a grate. Okay, we're going to put one grate in. There we go. Okay, that's probably how I'm going to run it in the experiment, okay? So let me go get the secret experiment part. Okay, this probably is not going to work. I just see that now. So, I bought some of these Jealous Devil Flex briquettes, okay? And this one's pretty tall, and I don't think it would fit underneath this plate. Let's check. It's not going to work. Okay, if I could get one half the size and stick it on there, that might work. Because basically all these things is compressed wood turned into a briquette. But I have another part B of the experiment. B. Backup plan B. Alright, so I was at my Home Depot and I bought a little bag of Pecan natural wood chunks from B&B. So these I know will fit on and not interfere. So if you put one like that and one like that just on top of the heat diffuser, and don't use this, I'll use this in my charcoal unit. Put this back on and see if that'll... Because what our main goal is here is to try and create some more smoke. Okay, so it works. I put a couple of chunks of wood on top of this heat deflector. I'm going to wheel this outside, fire it up, see if those things catch fire. Stay tuned. This experiment's just getting interesting. Alright, well, we're outside and it looks like it might rain. I don't know what the heck's going on. Anyways, I'm too excited to stop the experiment. Let's see if putting on these pecan wood chunks onto the deflector plate while this thing's running is going to make any more smoke come out of here. So I'm going to fire this thing up. I'm going to put it on normal smoking temperature of about 225. Now we're going to get some dirt. You're going to see dirty smoke come out of here. That's normal. We'll wait till things calm down. I'm going to put the wood chunks on the deflector plate and see what the heck happens. Stay tuned. This is going to get really exciting and interesting. Oh, plus, I have some lump charcoal in there that's a lot smaller than those Jealous Devil Flex briquettes. So maybe if this works, I'll try a piece of lump. But we're just going to experiment and see if I can get more smoke out of this little Grand Slam. Stay tuned. Last Canuck here, yeah, well, it's warm. We're up to temp. It was, it was at 225 a second ago. It dropped because I looked inside. It's 222 now, but we're at smoking range. You can see by my stack that, yeah, I can feel the heat coming out of here. It just puffs smoke every once in a while. I got lumberjack, hickory, and char hickory in the hopper. So good quality pellets, but again, not much smoke. You don't get real good smoke on this unit until you bring it down 200, 180 in that region. If you bring it down to 160, it really smokes. But I like to try and smoke around 225. So hey, here's the fun part. I'm going to open the lid. I've got the sear plate over to the side. I'm going to try and put these chunks in, and then I'll get a close-up to see if they actually ignite and see what happens. So let's find out. F-A-F-O, I always say. Okay, here's a chunk. I'll put the skinny one down here, and I'll put the big fat one over here. Okay, so the chunks are on the diffuser plate, so they're on there. Actually, I'm going to leave this off for a second so we can see if they actually catch fire. So let's close this up, we'll leave it a few minutes, see if they catch on fire. What do you guys think? Is this going to work or not work? Is it going to be a big fail, or hey, maybe we're on to something here? Who knows? Well, it's been in there for about 10 minutes, and I don't think it's caught fire, but let's check. I think I might have to crank this up and try it that way, and if not, I've got my trusty lighter here. So let's first see if there's anything happening. Nope, you can see that the wood still in here. Nothing going on, although I don't see it catching or anything. So let's crank the heck out of this thing. See if we can get it caught. I'll turn it up high. I'm going to turn it up to 450. See what happens. Okay, so she's cranked to 450. Actually, let's make it 475. Because, hey, we all know wood or paper ignites at Fahrenheit 451. Let's leave it on there for a couple minutes, and if it doesn't light up, I'm going to use my butane torch here and see if I can get it going that way. Okay, well, I think the wood is actually caught on fire, and it started on fire right when the temperature hit about 300, so I'm not going to use my torch. Not sure if you can see the smoke coming out of here. Let's put that up for you guys to see the smoke. She's smoking like crazy, so that leads me to believe that the wood has actually, the actual wood has caught on fire. Yeah, so let's take a look inside. I'm going to pull that plate off. I can smell the pecan, so something's burning. Oh yeah, there's a lot more smoke now. Let's check. Oh, look at that go. Okay, so it caught on fire, and it should be it's hot. Yeah, that's really hot. Okay, so we're going to leave that alone and see if it settles back down a bit. So if my theory's correct, this should turn into like some sort of like a little smoldering charcoal now that it's lit. I have it set at 225. We're getting some really decent smoke out of there. Way more smoke than we did at 225 with just pellets. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of thin and blue, and it's a little windy, but trust me, there's more smoke coming out of here, and it's continuous. And we're going to just check the actuals here. Okay, so you can see I've got it set at 225. It's probably higher because that wood burning in there is probably at. So it's at 237. And the fan, okay, so the PID controller doesn't understand that I have another fuel source in there. So it's going to be playing around, trying to come down to 225. But, like I said, I got good smoke coming out of there at, heck, it's 250. Alright, so maybe I put too much wood in there. Again, experiment, and it's built for heat, okay? So I'm not too worried about that. But you can see, I don't know if you can see me, it smells like pecan, but the smoke's coming out of here pretty good. So, would you say it's a success or failure at this point? Don't know. I'm going to let this run for 10 more minutes. I'm going to come back and check and see if the things are still smoldering. And see if it's worth it throwing big wood chunks like that in on top of the diffuser. Let's check. The reason I wanted to use the Jealous Devil Flex ones is they're just like a big pellet. So maybe if I could cut them in half, which should take me a while to do, it might be worth it. Okay, so temperature's still climbing, but with smoke. Let's open this up and see what's going on here. I can see the flames underneath here. Yeah. Okay, so they're turning into charcoal, basically. Which is kind of cool. Maybe I'm holding this upside, yeah. Okay, so just, hey, for you guys, fellow users, hold it this way. Then your hands are further away from the heat. I was doing it backwards, but that's okay. So look, you got a couple of flaming chunks of wood there that look great. They're turning into charcoal. I'm closing the lid. I'm going to check the actual on the temperature's coming back up again. But you can see the smoke. So look, I'm thinking once the PID controller figures out that, hey, I don't have to add pellets because I've got extra wood in here, I think this is going to work out okay. So if you got the Sear kit, You can put pecan or hickory, or you can buy oak, you can buy post oak, the chunks, not the big giant pieces, just the little pieces. And that should work out okay and give you a heck of a lot more smoke coverage. Now, how long does it last, Lost Canuck? You're crazy. It's going to take you ages to do this. Well, hey, maybe, but let's let her run. It's I've only had the chunks on there for 10 minutes, and you saw them turning into charcoal. So let's run this thing, and I bet you it lasts at least an hour. We'll see if I got to add more. All right, let's look back here in about an hour. Wow, look at this thing smoke. Like the temperature is 230. It's coming down a bit, but still, this thing never used to smoke like that. Okay, and it smells great. Like, and it's constant, like nice. It's not dirty smoke now. It's thin blue smoke. The pecan chunks have caught, turning into charcoal. It's only been another 10 minutes. Okay, like I say, I'm going to leave it go another 50 minutes, 50. I'm getting smoke all over me now. 50 minutes. And we'll just check to see what the chunks look like. All right, Lost Canuck here. I'm back. It's been about half an hour. The smoke's still coming out of here, not bad. Smells great. Smells like pecan, actually. So let's open this thing up. It's still set at 225 now that the PID controller is a little more settled down. Let's pull this off. See what we got. Okay, these things are completely ashed over. I'm gonna pull one off with these tongs so you can see it. Yeah, so it's this one's pretty much done. Okay, so those were with pecan wood chunks. All right, so let's scrape off this deflector plate, get some of the ash off there. What I'm going to try and do now, okay, so we know it works with wood chunks and it lasts at least 30 minutes, okay? So probably more along the lines of something like a Camp Chef Woodwind Pro with a little smoke box. I didn't load the plate totally up. Or kind of like a, I was trying to think of pits and spits. So kind of like along the lines of pits and spits with the smoke cage. You gotta load it up every half an hour or so, similar to this, okay? Let me go just get a little tiny chunk of lump charcoal. I think it's gonna rain here soon. Well, let's see if that works. Okay, so here's a little piece of B&B lump charcoal. It's hickory. I'm gonna grab my tongs and see if I can get that onto the deflector plate. Yeah, I only used one chunk because it's gonna rain soon and I do not want to get my nice little Grand Slam all wet. So there we go. We're gonna do the same procedure. I'm gonna turn it up to 350. It usually catches about 300. I'm gonna leave it alone now. Once it catches, you'll see the smoke roll out of it, and then I'll turn it back down to 225. But the smoke smell was really intense. It was nice. Wood chunks, yep, you can do it. They last about 30 minutes. Well, these two did. This one might have lasted a little longer. Maybe I was too premature. Burnt a little hole in my yard. But look, if you want more smoke flavor than the pellets just by themselves, you can try this. So I've done 2 experiments. I've added wood chips to my pellet mix, and you're safe to do it using the Smoke-N-Licious Minuto number 4 size pellets, up to about a 20% ratio, because you have an open center auger and it's round. It works, okay? Wood chunks, I just noticed, just experimented with, work on the deflector plate. Now, I'm going to have at the end of this video, and hopefully you guys over at Blaz'n are going to watch this. I really hope so. I'm going to have some suggestions. Maybe we can, not we, you could turn this into a kit. You could change your parabolic design of that little plate over the fire pot to a different way and sell it as a kit or something. I don't know. It's just kind of cool that this works out. And actually, I got the idea from looking at the Pits and Spits smoke cage. So, anyways, let's. She's going now. We'll come back here in about 10 minutes. See if I can get that lump charcoal lit up. Well, I'm back. It's been about 10 minutes, and I've had it set up high. I think the lump is caught. And it's getting ready to rain, so I want to shut the experiment down. But let's take a quick look inside. See about the lump in here. Oh yeah, I think it's ashed over. Okay, so the lump charcoal has caught. It's starting to ash over now. Now, I don't think I'm getting any more smoke with the lump, but it's good to know that you can throw some lump on top of there and you'll get extra smoke flavor into your food. I would say let's come up with a conclusion to the test here. I want to shut this. Oh, the charcoal smells great. I'm going to turn this back down to 2 1/4. Okay, we're back down to 225. Now, if I would have put more lump charcoal on there, you probably would have seen some more smoke coming out of here. But, you know, it's an experiment. I just wanted to see if it's going to burn. And it looks like it's going to. It's like my other pieces of wood still were burning. I think the lump, and boy, this lump charcoal really smells good. So look, if you want some smoke from your pellets and some more charcoal flavor, or pecan wood or oak wood or hickory wood, try the wood chunks. You're going to have to replace them every 30 minutes or so, or add to them. And then the lump there, here goes the lump. I can see it really catching now, and it smells great. Man, that smells awesome. So let's go into the barn and we'll do a quick review, and then we'll shut this down. And hey, look, guys, if you liked anything that I did in this video, smash that like button. Really helps the channel. Or leave me a comment. Tell me, hey man, that was a bogus test, or you're nuts, like I'm never going to do this. Or maybe you want some more information. I don't know. Like I say, I'm just a regular backyard barbecue kind of guy, just like you people, everybody that's watching. And I'm just trying to, this little Blaz'n's awesome, but if you want a little more smoke flavor, then there's a couple of different ways you can go about doing it. There now, so it's starting to calm down now. So once the PID controller figures out that you've got more fuel in there, it starts, it adjusts. This is a Roanoke control, and it works really good. Like I say, if you liked anything in this video, check out my store below or some of my affiliate links. Anything you purchase doesn't cost you anything more. And it really helps me out develop more content. So yeah, you can see the, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a decent amount of smoke coming off that charcoal. Yeah, I can see it from here. Just take another quick peek. Yeah, she's ashing over now, and it's at 300 degrees and it's making some smoke, so that's pretty good. Now I've got some other ideas for Blaz'n, and I'm going to share that with them. See if they even listen or whatever. Maybe they're happy with what they got, and they're going to tell me I'm nuts. But anyways, so let's go inside and I'll give you my conclusions and final thoughts. Hey, lost Canuck here again. Well, you know what? I dug through my bag of Jealous Devil Flex briquettes, and there's 2 sizes in there. Who knew? Crazy, crazy. There's the big mama here and the little daddy here. So I found a bunch of these in the bag and a bunch of these. I'm going to try. I've checked. This will fit under the deflector of the searing plate. So I'm going to try one of these things and continue with the experiment. So here's part C of the experiment. We did wood chunks. We did lump charcoal. And we'll try one of these bad boys. Let's go try this out. I got it turned on to, and I turned it up a bit to give it a more fair test. It's at 250 right now. Let's throw this on and see what happens. Okay, so what the procedure is going to be, so I'm going to turn this up to 300 like I did for everything else. Get her hot. I'm going to open this up. Put my little flex over here. Put it over on that zone there. You can see it's underneath there, and I'm going to move the plate over, so hang on. So the sear plate is on, the flex is underneath there, and we'll wait for ignition. Alright, well, I think we have ignition because the PID controller is trying to figure out why the temperature is going up and it's not really adding pellets. So, not much extra smoke out of this Jealous Devil briquette. Let's see. Let's see if we've got it ashed over yet. Let's take a look. So it's burning. Get all ashed up, but there's smoke coming out of there. And I'll let this thing go for about 10 minutes or so. I've got it cranked down here to 250. Yep, so it's set at 250. So we'll let it get down to 250 and see if it smokes any better than normal. Alright, well, we're set up at 250, and I'm getting some thin blue smoke even at 250. I don't know if you can see it against that. Maybe this way. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting some thin blue smoke at 250. I've got the little Jealous Devil Flex on there. So at 250, I would get absolutely zero out of the pellet grill. And it's coming out of here pretty good. Let's look inside the chamber. Yeah, full of smoke in there. So, and it's maintaining 250. So the PID controller figured out that I had some more fuel in there. Let's just take a look at this thing, see what it looks like. And it looks like a big marshmallow, but it's ashed over. Looks like a piece of lumped charcoal. So here's another excellent way to get a little more flavor. Now that's an oak. Jealous Devil it's not a char log, it's a flex briquette. Putting it on a background where you can see the smoke, and it's really windy out here, so it's hard to see. But look, at 250 and you're getting continuous smoke like this, that's pretty good, especially for the little Blaz'n. So this part of the experiment, I would say, also worked. But hey, I had to leave it on there for 10 minutes to get it to fully ash over. Kind of like the piece of lumped charcoal I had in there. Anyways, so there you can see it running again. Little update to my video and my final thoughts, on top of my final thoughts. This is the heat deflector plate that I was placing the wood chunks and the charcoal on. And it fits into the grill like that. You can see that, right? Okay. And you know the the new searing kit that I got sits over top, and then it leaves this open, so you have free access to this. This is all existing stuff. So here's what I would do, okay? So Blaz'n, here's some suggestions for this thing, okay? You already manufacture this piece, this domed parabolic piece. What I would do is take this, flip it upside down. I would add some more meat on, so you're already laser cutting this, it looks like, to match this parabolic shape, okay? So you won't need to do that anymore. You'll need to cut a dish into it, flip this around, maybe add a little more meat on there, and now you've got a little more room here between here and the removable part of the drip tray. And then you've got this piece here. I'm assuming this is also part of like a heat shield. Well, I'd put on like, looks like that's about a third sector. So I'd put that, two more of these on, welded on. So then your heat deflector will look like this, upside down, with a little lip on it, so that your wood, so then you can get to your wood pieces and put them on here, and they won't fall out. Okay, finally, what I would do is this is mounted directly over the burn pot, right? Here's your removable burn pot, and I'll pull it out just so you see what I'm talking about. So here's your removable burn pot. This is mounted right over. Okay, see, it comes out, in and out like that. That's how it works. Not changing any of your design. What I would do on this plate, if you're going to sell this as a kit, is I would drill holes in here, and they can be big ones, like 1/4-inch ones, in a circular pattern in the center, okay? Right over the burn pot. Then when you put your lumped charcoal, your wood chunks or whatever, you know, you put them near where these holes are, and then when your flames come up, it'll catch that. And then make it sell a brush with it or something, so that when this is like that and you're done for the day, take your brush and you brush your ashes through the holes, and they fall into the burn pot. And it's easy to clean because you're pulling your burn pot out like this and dumping it, right? So really, The only changes you're making to your manufacturing process would be drilling holes in here. You probably have a laser cutter there already. And then taking the design of these riser parts, and instead of having the dome shape like that, put a, on your CAD system, put a dish into it, and you might have to add, you know, 1/4 inch or some more meat on there because you're dishing it out, okay? So those are my final thoughts. So look, if you own a Blaz'n grill already and you're looking for a little more smoke, using this lump charcoal and everything that we just talked about, it works. And it's not that much extra work, especially if you got the searing kit. You just pull the top off, add your wood, put the top back on, away you go. Now, if you own the gridiron, which is bigger, it'd be super easy to do because you have the center grills already, the roller grills. You just pull it out, move it over. The Grand Slam is a little harder because you're going to have to take out one of the sides, but it's not a big deal. And you're not really fundamentally changing the design of your grill. Just some food for thought. Blaz'n owners, it works. Check it out, try it, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below if I'm crazy, whatever. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck here. Well, we've had a fun and exciting day of doing all kinds of experiments on the Blaz'n Grand Slam grill. It's a good little grill, I love it. I just sold my Louisiana grills unit not too long ago, but I still have the two. I got my Lone Star, which is the most amazing one I got, and then I got my little Blaz'n, and it's been fun doing some little tests on the Blaz'n. Now that little Blaz'n, it works well. It's never let me down. So here's the conclusion of what I found, and let's go from the beginning. So if you got the Sear kit, and you probably said, hey, I need a Sear kit when I order this Blaz'n unit. Hey, now you got a way to get some more smoke. So we tried the pecan chunks. Worked well. Put them on, brought it up to 300, right around, or brought it up to 400, right around the 300 level. They caught on fire. I brought it back down to 2 1/4, and those things really smoked. They smoked a lot. The only thing with the wood chunks is you're probably going to have to replace them every 30 minutes, probably max, okay? So that's option A, and it works. Thumbs up, okay? Option B, lump charcoal. It's going to last you longer. Took a little longer to ash over and catch, but same thing, right around 300 it caught on fire and ashed up. You get some tremendous great smelling smoke out of it. I brought it back down to 225, and hey, it was good stuff. It's going to last you at least an hour, and depending on how many chunks you can get on there. Now I'm thinking I did 2 of the wood chunks, and you could probably get 2 more on, and I did 1 of the lump charcoal just to test it. You'd probably get 4 pieces on there too. And then and it worked well. So there's option B, lump charcoal, and you have to screw around with it less. And then option C is these Jealous Devil Flex briquettes. I just tested it a few minutes ago, and these take a long time to light, probably 15 minutes. So you got to bring your temp up for at least 10-15 minutes, and then when they light, they take off, like they burn, okay, until they're ashed over. So after they catch fire, you got to leave them for about 10 minutes until the flames die down and they ash over, and then they give you some decent oak smoke as well. And the smell coming out of it was pretty nice. And I had it up at 250 where I normally don't get any kind of smoke out of the pellets. So there's option C, another good option. And I'm guessing, just by the way, I just took the piece off a minute ago because again it's threatening to storm on us here. But I'm imagining it's probably at least 1+ hours. So, and I only had 1 on there, and you might only need 1, okay? Because these things are pretty intense. So that's my conclusion. So if you want a little extra flavor, a little extra smoke, the smokiest stuff was the wood chunks. You're gonna have to tend to the fire more every 30 minutes. Less smoky, but at least as much flavor, if not more flavor, would be lump charcoal, and then finally these briquettes made by Jealous Devil, and they were smoky too, and you know, they had a decent oak smelling flavor to them, pleasing odor. So there you have it. So if you enjoyed that, I got more content all the time. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out some of my end screen videos here. Got tons of content out there. So don't forget, be kind to each other. Lost Canuck out.